He's not here. Hey ho, welcome to the Pacifist Podcast. It's just Mushu and myself this evening.
What more do you need?
I don't know. You tell me.
quite a lot. Quite a lot. Considerable amount.
Yeah, you threw me out there with a question straight off the bat.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, so this will be another big boys and small talk. I hate saying that so much. Oh, fuck's sake. But what do you mean, no, I don't? It sounds like a weird porno.
Yeah, it does. And that's what you love about it.
Yeah, true. It does make me chuckle every time I have to type it in. But I want to lead off by thanking everybody who has taken the time to like and subscribe to the YouTube page. We are so close to getting the magnificence that will be Mushu singing a Greatest Showman tune.
Oh,
so
yeah,
start
really?
commenting. No, you pipe down, sir. You you signed this right off your own. Well, you did that thing. You shouldn't have said it on camera. But yeah, so start commenting down below. What songs do you want him to sing? A song. I mean, let's not take the piss here. It's just a song. Vote below. Is it going to be never enough?
I'm not doing.
This is
I'm
me?
not doing fucking requests. I'm drawing a line at that. I'm picking the song.
Yeah,
everyone's going to have me doing all the high notes. I have to dust off my really tight pants.
I desperately want you to do never enough.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I think you do, but you don't.
I think I do as well.
Yeah. No, obviously it's always nice. It's always nice to have extra people. Welcome if it's the first time you've watched or joined us. I'm not getting as 100% behind this as perhaps Sam is. I love the amount of effort you've gone to, Sam. It's quite impressive and terrifying. Waking up at all times in the morning, just like with random text. You forget not everyone you know is a postman.
Yeah,
just random messages. Sometimes I get them before I'm going to bed.
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the mornings when I like to send you a text message with just a new counter. Oh, 66.
Yeah, and it's such a bittersweet thing because part of me is like, oh, lovely. And then part of me is like, fuck, I might actually have to do this.
Could you imagine how many more there'd be if you were actually campaigning to get people on there?
Well, yeah, quite a lot, I'd imagine, but I'm not.
My absolute favourite was when I asked this young lad who works in the post office. I was doing a collection on Saturday, and I think I sent you a picture of him. I was just chuckling because I'd read a message from you guys in the group chat, and I've just mentioned it, and he's like, "Oh, I'll sign up, no problem." And yeah, within like 30 seconds, there was just a little ping on my phone saying such and such is subscribed. Legend. Hats off to you, mate.
Yeah, well, sort of semi-thanks from me. I'll thank you. I'll thank you more when the end of March comes around. What date did we put on this?
Well, you put the end of March, but I reckon I'll have this done by March.
At this rate, you probably fucking will.
I think we need like about 30 more people. It's fantastic.
See, my grandma was right. Never trust a postman.
What do you mean never trust a postman? We've got so many security checks to do this job. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Rightly so.
Yeah. Anyway, so we don't have any specific conversation topics lined up, but I do for a fact know that we've been watching the same TV. I feel it's going to kind of go down that route at the moment.
Can I just say it is so hard watching these TV programs, knowing that you're watching them as well.
Yeah.
And then thinking like, oh fuck, and the amount of times I've picked up my phone, written out a message to you, and then thought, should probably talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah, that's everything in life. We do so little at the moment with working. I like go to have a conversation with you like the 10-15 minutes before we start up, or when we have our little I want to say production meetings, but let's face it, they're not really that, are they?
Call it that sounds awesome. Call it
yeah, when we have our production meetings, I'm just like, shit, shut up. Talk nothing but shop, because otherwise there's gonna be nothing to talk about.
Yeah, it's like, don't waste all the good conversation. There's only so much of it. Just don't waste it now.
Yeah, totally. Well, and I'm sure you're all dying to know what we've been watching. And it's off the back of last week's when we watched that Hotel Cecil. that Mushu went down a bit of a dark rabbit hole and has been watching lots of murder documentaries, which, I mean, they're not really my cup of tea. I find myself getting a little bit, not turned on, just to clarify, but a little bit, I would say hot under the cup, bothered, I suppose. I get a little bit antsy. I'm like, oh, are my doors locked? I mean, do I have a gun to put under my pillow?
A little bit on edge.
Yeah, a little bit. I just don't get it. And the current one, what's it called? Night Stalker. I had to take a note because I'm notorious at getting things wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't manage to finish it, Mushu. I think I've got one episode and about 20 minutes left. Motherfucker, he's crazy. Do you want to give a little brief as to what it's about?
Can do, yeah. So like Sam said, I went on a little bit of a tangent. I was and I started looking into Richard Ramirez because he's actually he was actually a guest at the Cecil Hotel at one point, which got me sort of thinking about him.
Is he the guy who was killing people, getting naked and running up 15 flights of stairs in just his pants?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just checking it was the same person.
Yeah, so I started watching about him, and genuinely, I'd never really looked into him that much. But now, after watching that documentary, he's probably up there with one of the most frightening serial killers there is, I think.
So this is about him then?
Yeah, Night Stalker is about Richard Ramirez. That's the name that they gave him.
Hadn't got that far. I've just seen a horrible grainy picture of some weird, he looks like a murderer. He's got the big boggly eyes. I'll put a picture of it now for everybody watching.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, sorry. But the thing is, Richard, the Night Stalker himself, a lot of people have heard of. He's quite a famous. He's up there with Ed Gein.
That's the furniture maker, isn't it?
Bundy. Yeah. The BTK, all of them. He's one of the more famous American serial killers. But what I think makes him so frightening above the rest is his pure savagery and the fact that there doesn't seem to be any discrimination between his targets.
No, this is what I was going to say. The episode I was just watching about 20 minutes ago, it started off with just a list of people that he'd killed or attacked. And I assume when it said attacked, it was like a sexual attack as opposed to just a cheeky slap around the face.
I think the majority of them was sexually motivated, yeah.
He's a total fuck up. So he was murdering and raping like 90-year-olds. What the fuck? I mean, I don't
at the same time as abusing like kids.
He did. He killed someone's husband, raped the wife, and then assaulted their young boy. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with them? I don't get it. Like with Bundy, he had a sort of stereotype. He like young fit women and just like to eat them a bit, didn't he? I mean, that makes it sound like he's
generally
not
with serial killers. They have a victim type. Something they're looking for because they're trying to fulfill an urge, aren't they? And so their victim plays quite a large part in that urge. Hence why you get people that have got these mummy sort of hang-ups and they go after middle-aged women because they remind them of their mum or whatever. Like you say, who was it? Jeffrey Dahmer used to go after young men, didn't he? It was majority young men.
I ain't got to that one yet.
He was a weird fella. He was scary because to look at, he was completely. There was nothing about him at all that gave off serial killer. He was quite a good-looking young guy, and it was obvious how he managed to get his victims all the time. But he was crazy because he used to try and create sex robots by drilling holes in the back of these guys' heads and filling it with acid and stuff like that. So he was trying to create something that wasn't dead but wasn't alive to fulfill his urges, so to speak.
What the fuck?
As you do.
What was his name? Ed Gaines?
No, Dahmer. That's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh.
Ed Gein was he was the furniture guy. Yeah,
furniture guy.
He always used to be my favorite, just out of creativity. Yeah, I know you're not supposed to have a favourite, but if I did, it would be him because he was creative.
We covered this though, didn't we? Our favourite serial killers, because mine was the serial sniper because I really appreciated the father and son bonding.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, it was horrible. He was shooting people, but it's the American pastime, isn't it? Spend some time with your family, go shooting people.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, but this guy, the Night Stalker guy, say his name again?
Richard Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez. Yeah, sorry. As I say, they haven't got to that point yet. Anna, in all fairness, I'm pretty terrible with names. Yeah, it's so fucking ridiculous. I mean, I've always been one to lock my doors anyway. I don't know why. I've never lived anywhere where I'm just totally comfortable leaving my door open. And I've also always lived in a house with like Yale locks. So when you shut the door, it's locked. It's just, and I suppose when you grow up in a house where all your doors just lock automatically, it's it's never been I'll just leave that unlocked, shall I? But
then the Yale
fucking do now.
The Yale locks a lot of them are fairly easy to pop.
I mean, if anyone wanted to get in, they could just kick a door in. It's not that fucking hard, is it?
Well, this is the thing, and this is something that Richard Ramirez he didn't generally force entry that much, did he? From what I saw, he didn't seem to like kick doors in or anything like that. It was always seemed to be people that had left doors or windows open.
Yeah, just hopped inside. It reminds me of those little opportunist scallywags that run around trying car doors to see if they're open. Get the loose change out the middle.
There was actually one serial killer. I can't remember who it was. But when he was interviewed after he was caught, they discovered that if the door was left open, he would assume he was allowed in the house. But if the doors were shut, he wouldn't like attempt to go in the house or anything like that. But if the door was open, he assumed he was welcome to go in there. And it's a simple thing, isn't it? If you'd shut your door, you could have been alive today. But
bloody hell. Yeah.
So that in itself, I think, is terrifying. You know, as with my history as well, I like a decent MO. I like something that can tie everything together. And he had none of that really. And there is going to be spoilers coming up here because I need to talk to you about it. But
it's fun.
You should know about the shoe by now.
Mm-hmm. So because the journalist was going to blow the whistle on that, which is one of those. I get the right to have freedom of press and all of that, but fuck, man. If the one lead they've got is the guy's shoes, you can't go and say, "Oh, he's wearing a pair of Converse All Stars," because they'd just go and buy a pair of plimsolls or something, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, this is one of the things that I wanted to that sort of struck me about the whole series was the amount of media influence that goes on in these sort of high profile cases, and it can't, the way I see it can't do anything but fuel the serial killer's sort of motivation, if you know what I mean.
I completely agree.
I mean, I don't know if you've got to the bit yet where they started off calling him the walk-in killer.
Yeah.
And all this, but that didn't really stick. And then someone else had another name for him. And then the Guardian or whatever it was, named him as the Night Stalker or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then the next day, the next crime he commits, he's like, "I am the Night Stalker." So the media have named him. He's like, "Fucking like that, like the ring of that. That's me."
Yeah, and just waited until a good one came along.
Yeah, and as soon as you name something as well, people think like, shit just got real. You know, when it's just a serial killer out there, it's frightening, but it's just a serial killer out there. As soon as the Night Stalker's out there, you're like, fuck. It almost transcends them into a sort of superhuman classification. You know, like it just adds to to general population terror, if you know what I mean. And sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say I completely fucking agree. Do you remember 3 or 4 years ago, London had they were calling him the cat killer. Some guy was going around killing cats.
Yeah.
And it turned out it was foxes, not cats. But they were putting it all over the place, and like, the cat killer strikes again. 5 cats have been found, you know, dismembered and all over the fucking place. And it's more that they've got in a fight with a fox, but cats are hard bastards and crawled their way home. So, that's how it worked. But I remember quite often putting my old social justice warrior pants on and getting on the keyboard, and I'd be like, stop sharing this shit. If somebody out there's killing cats, this is what gets them hard. They're literally, they see an article about it and they're just whacking off left, right, and centre because they're getting the notoriety that they crave through the media doing it. And it's obviously it didn't stop anything because everyone's just like, oh, the poor kiddies. But yeah, man, it's got a lot to answer for.
I think the way forward is to do a little psyche eval of your victim profile. So get an idea of what's going on in their head. Just be like, oh, he's obviously sort of, like he's sexually angry or something like that. And they're like, right, so this new serial killer, we're going to call him Little Willie. Something like that,
Yeah, now and that I'm on board with.
Release it to the press. Little Willie strikes again,
Yeah.
And people can't be afraid of that sort of thing. Oh, don't forget to lock your doors. Little Willie will get you. Oh, not Little Willie.
The premature ejaculator's out in full force tonight. Watch yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, can you imagine, like, if you the disappointment when they break into the room with their knife held high and something like that, and they're just met with a smirk. Like,
I know you are, Little Willie, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it's gone soft now. What I did like in the last episode I just watched, something I didn't like, it was horrible, but he broke into I assume some hillbilly's house, but based on the look of it, and he only had a 2-2, and he shot the wife and it went through her cheek and out of her ear, and then shot the husband in the face, and it just went through him as well. And then the husband got up fucking the balls on him, gets up with a hole in his head and chases him out. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I was like, one, how terrible are you at shooting people? And two, legend, that husband.
Well, I mean, a 2-2 round is, for anyone not versed in firearms or anything like that, 2-2 is fairly small.
It's tiny, isn't it? It's about...
You're probably looking at...
It's like 6 mil wide, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. And like the old City of London police heavy raincoats used to be able to stop one of them. If it was wet.
If it was wet,
it could stop a 2-2 round. Yeah. So they say, never tested it because I'm not a fucking moron.
Also, you wouldn't have been a policeman in.
Yeah.
When did Dunblane? Yeah, totally. No, when was Dunblane? Was that 1992?
Oh, yeah.
It was around then. So, yeah, you wouldn't have been a Rosa then, would you?
No.
You're probably still doing your butchery course at that point.
Probably, mate. Probably still at school.
Yeah, but that's when there was the major gun amnesty, and we de-armed the entire country, didn't we? Just after Dunblane, it was just like, no, you've had your fucking one of you cunts ruined it for everybody. Same as everything.
Well, with hindsight, when you look at the amount of firearms death our country has, probably wasn't a bad thing.
No, not at all. Yeah. I don't think the mass public should have it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love guns. I love shooting guns. They're absolutely great fun.
I think the public should have a lot of access to firearms, but under very, very strict conditions, i.e. range firing only. You're not allowed to take it outside of a range. You can buy and own a gun, but it stays in the range, and you take it to the range to fire it at the range.
I take my air rifles to a shooting range. I mean, I live out in the sticks now. I'm sure there's somewhere safe that I could go and use them without it causing a problem.
Probably, but you just don't want. That. So the moment you do that, you could be in the middle of nowhere, and someone's going to see you and report it to the old bill, and the next thing you know, you're going to be stood there with a load of pissed off coppers. Like, why are you in a public place with your rifle out?
No, not where I fucking live, mate. The police ain't come here. Fucking postman don't come here. I am the only postman in the country who comes to this site. Literally the only one.
Really?
Yeah, because they don't deliver post here because at some point somebody was an arsehole to a postman. And posties hold grudges, people. You fuck off a postie too much, you won't get your post. And now all 100 of us here don't get their post. But COVID tests are quite fucking important. And I had my manager, I was working Sunday, 2 weeks ago now, maybe 3 weeks ago, I'm not sure. Oh, I've got a really cool hoodie on, by the way.
Oh yeah.
It says House Elf, like on the decks. Very cool.
Yeah, I get it.
I was working on a Sunday and my manager came up to me and was like, whereabouts do you live? And I was like, oh, such and such. I'm not putting it out on the internet. And he's like, oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was Winchester. I was like, well, sort of is. And he's like, is it this? And he read out the address. I was like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, I've got a COVID tester over there and Winchester are refusing to take it. Can you sort it out? And I was like, yeah, as long as you bill Winchester and pay me for all my travel. He's like, yeah, sure. Here, take a van. Just trundled up here.
Result?
I mean, the number of people who saw me in my van, I mean, they didn't clock that I actually live here as well, but saw my van and came like running out and be like, the postman, how do we get post? I've never had post. And I was like, you got to go collect it. Somebody was a dick to the postman a few years ago. Just trying to deliver this parcel here. Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare. But yeah. Anyway, that was a fucking side tangent. But yeah, I'm sure there's somewhere I could go and shoot my air rifles up here.
Yeah, possibly.
Can you still hear me? I've just moved my mic. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So anyway. So but the 2-2 round. You know,
that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
If it doesn't strike dead on, you know, it's going to deflect quite easily off bone. And I think the woman's got lodged in the back of her skull or something, didn't it? Yeah,
around her neck. It like went through the side of her. Didn't hit anything. It just sort of got stuck in her neck.
But like that copper said though, he's like, if you just shot someone in the face with a 2-2 pistol and they got up and charged you, just like you'd fucking run as well.
Yeah, didn't fucking stop him though, did he?
No,
he kept on going after that.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, that's a typical sort of. There's no end in sight to what he was planning. He knew he was either going to get caught or killed, and he was just going to do that until one of those two things happened.
Don't tell me which one happened because I don't know.
Okay, well, no spoilers there then.
Yeah. Well, I presume they go hand in hand. Caught and killed are the same sort of thing, but I don't know which one it was.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll say no more on the outcome of the investigation. But I really like the way it's filmed, following the investigation, the officers, and all of that. It's quite well done, and you kind of invest with the officers. Like I really like this the sort of Mexican one.
Oh, he looks way better as an older bloke, doesn't he? Like they show pictures of him as a young, and I'm like, oh, mate.
I think they both do.
What? Because there's the reporter person as well who just looks like he's had nothing but Botox forever.
Yeah, no,
just look like. Yeah, he can fuck right off. Every time I see him, it makes me think he's the person who does the killing. I'm just like, oh,
just walks into guys. I think I might have a clue for you. It's like, just bring him in.
Yeah, exactly.
He's done something.
He's got that weird cat look about him, doesn't he? Just looks like he starts preening himself with his hands. It's just, sort your shit out, mate.
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah, and the fact that he didn't kill everyone, you know, like you say, some were just attacks, some were robberies. There's literally no way of really attributing the crimes to him until they started finding those shoe prints.
It's mad, isn't it? It's the shoe print. It's always the weirdest things that give them away. Like, the dentist bit as well. Do you remember the dentist bit?
Oh,
that was super frustrating. Do you not reckon it? See, I don't know, but it feels like the guys in the police people, in like the LAPD or something. Again, I don't know because I haven't seen the last episode yet. But for everybody who hasn't seen it, I'm going to ruin it for you now. Is they found a car that they suspected was him, but there were no prints on it because of bureaucracy. Anyway, they found a card for a dentist surgery, and they went to the dentist surgery and they got his x-rays, and they asked a proper dentist, not a cheap person dentist. They're like, what can you tell me about this? And they're like, he's going back because his teeth are fucked. This is me paraphrasing. Anyway, so they set up some undercover people in there for like a week or so. And then they're like, this is costing too much. We're just going to put like a burglar alarm in there, and they can press the button if he turns up. And the day after they take the undercover cops out, he turns up and the burglar alarm didn't fucking work. Fucking not. Oh, That's why I was just like, is it a Rosa? Has he got like, you know, copper friends?
Yeah, there is a remarkable amount of coincidence sort of thing. But the thing is, and I think it's a very easy thing to do with these things, is get overindulged with the sort of mystery of it all.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like
we did that with the Cecil Hotel, didn't we?
Yeah, and this is a difficult thing about these internet sleuths who, you know, and don't get me wrong, some of them have come up with some cracking theories and some of them have come up with some cracking evidence and stuff like that, you know, and a lot of the times they do assist the police and this sort of thing, but they get it so into their head that there's something going on, and they because they find all these mysteries and inconsistencies with the information, but they don't realize that information is being fed to them by an intelligence unit in the police. And they're being used as a resource basically, and it's like, put this out to the internet, see what they make of that. They'll find some details on that. Don't tell them about this though, because we don't want that information going out. But these people are just like, oh look, we found this out from the police, so but that doesn't add up with this, so there's definitely some sort of conspiracy. It's so easy to do.
It's like a hive mind, isn't it? It's an incredible resource, those internet sleuths. They're mad, but when you've got that many people thinking on it, it's a lot of brain power working on something at any one time. It's like, did you watch Don't Fuck With Cats yet?
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
Oh, you've already watched that? Because they basically solved that entire murder, didn't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Crime, which was just phenomenal when they went through and they tracked down every street sign.
Yeah, I mean,
fucked up.
Yeah, but this is the other thing, is like, I don't think, you know, someone like the Night Stalker would be anywhere near as successable. I
know what you mean, but successful is a weird word. Prolific, mate.
Prolific, yeah. He wouldn't have been anywhere near that prolific if with modern day sort of technology, you know, because it wouldn't have been a case. The first crime scene, there would have been a shit ton of DNA, but they just wouldn't have had the resources to, you know, they're still in manually checking fingerprints at that stage.
Nowadays, you'd just get caught by a Ring doorbell. So a postie got sacked from that the other day. Oh no, not a postie, like a DPD driver or something like that. Got sacked because this guy needed a piss, so he had a piss, and the doorbell from somebody down the street caught him having a piss. Fired because of a fucking doorbell.
There is pandemic. There is so much to that that's aggravating.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a pandemic where nothing is open. So it's not like he can just go into a pub and be like, can I take a piss? Because they're all fucking shut. Yeah. You're not allowed to go in anybody's house by law. What's he meant to do? There's no public toilets open. He has a piss and he loses his fucking job. And it wasn't even the person who had a parcel delivered. It was just somebody else. I mean, I saw the area. It was a nice area. But still, fuck, man. Fired because of a fucking doorbell.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, but going back to the Night Stalker thing, there's so many of those around now. I don't see it being even possible. When was the last serial killer? It's like serial killers aren't a thing anymore. It's all mass shootings or bombs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to tempt fate because obviously it's a good thing that there's not around. But hopefully that could be attributed to the increase in things like CCTV, like you say, these Nest doorbells, stuff like that, dash cams on cars.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole job of evidence gathering now must be fucking ball ache. You'd have to track down every driver that was going past at that time. Do you have dash cam? No. Do you have dash cam? But if you don't, the one bit of evidence that could put everything in place could have just like passed you by.
Yeah. Well,
so,
cell phone data as well.
It would be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? Like how many murderers that are in prison now would have gone on to become serial killers.
It's a good point. Most of them seem to be like drug-fueled cases of moronness, though.
Yeah, there's a triangle of behaviour, isn't there, for serial killers?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think there is a triangle of behaviour for serial killers. and I think one of them is torturing animals. They're like behavioural traits to look out for.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So one of them is causing animals pain.
I don't like that.
One of them is bedwetting. And one of them is, I can't remember what the last one is.
Bedwet? Are you sure?
Yeah. Because that caught me by
Ah.
surprise as well.
What, piss in your bed?
Yeah. It's fucking wet again.
I haven't wet a bed in years, but I did piss myself on a sofa about 5 years ago after a really, really heavy night with one of my good friends. She got me trashed. You haven't wet your own bed. You're like a dog. You just mark other people's.
That's it, yeah.
What's the other one then? Bedwetting, animal torture.
Do you want me to have a quick look? Oh, I can't have a look because I don't know where my
phone I haven't got my watch on. I haven't got my portable Jeeves.
It was bedwetting, animal torture, and something else. So the third one, yeah, you've got bedwetting.
Yeah.
You've got bedwetting, check. And that's persistent bedwetting, I should say. It's not just like, oh, I've wet the bed. This is like a nightly thing, can't sleep without wetting the bed sort of thing.
God, could you imagine? That'd probably make me want to go kill people, actually, if I piss in the bed every night.
Yeah, well, yeah. Cruelty to animals, which is generally classified as sort of unwarranted harming of them.
Yeah.
We're not talking about pulling the wings off flies because everyone's done that at some point. It's more like capturing squirrels or something and cutting them open to see how they work, that sort of thing, you know.
Oh, that's horrible.
Apparently, that's something you should be alarmed about if you find your kid doing that. And the third one, fire starting. So
I used to do that as a kid. I used to love playing with matches.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between again, I think it's a case of not so much of like, oh, this is a pretty fire, more the case of like consistently setting fire to stuff.
I was always quite safe. It's not like I was setting fire to bins or cars or people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know to the level of what, because I think a lot of kids do find that sort of thing quite fascinating. Fire, don't they? You know, personally, it's up there in my top 5 phobias. Fire, I hate it.
Fire,
yeah, hate it. It's just unpredictable. We can't really tell what it's going to do.
Well, you can. I mean, you've just got to be sensible, haven't you? I mean, you know what's going to burn. Yeah. Have a good sized pit.
I'm not talking about being next to a fire. I'm talking about like house fires and things like that. I don't like out of control fires.
That's petrifying. The idea of a place burning down. Oh, dearie me.
And forest fires. Have you seen how fucking fast they travel?
Yes.
It only occurred to me when I was watching a video, and it was an awful video of deer running away from this forest fire. And the deer weren't winning the race.
They're fucking quick and all.
Yeah. Well, how fucking fast is that fire going then? My fat ass stuck out there in that. I wouldn't stand a chance, mate. It'd be crispy fried mushu.
You'd be pork scratchings in minutes.
I would be delicious. Oh God, just say that, just quickly. I read this thing. This thing's been going around Facebook just recently. Like, what's the most uncomfortable fact that you know? And it's like, I'll start. Your bones are wet. Which is true because they're literally
they would
covered
be,
in...
wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. But this
it does make me feel a bit uncomfortable, actually.
Yeah, but this other person's answer saying there's a point in the cremation process when the meat is perfectly cooked. Oh God!
It just pulls off the bone.
Yeah, literally. Pull them out after 12 minutes. They'll be delicious.
Oh, that's horrific.
Yeah, but
I'd never thought of that,
isn't it? I guess kind of true.
That is fucking gross.
Yeah. So that's your 3 things basically, and I'm not sure if it's a combination. You have to have all 3, or if it's. Well, I think if you hit all 3, you're definitely a psychopath. I don't think there's much. Sort of argument there.
Or a serial killer. You don't have to be a psychopath to be a serial killer, do you? Or do you?
I don't think they're both. I don't know. You don't have to be a psychopath to be a serial killer. You don't have to be a serial killer to be a psychopath.
Yeah, but what you're basically saying there is that every 8 to 12-year-old is a serial killer.
Yeah,
7.
probably. Yeah, probably.
I was just trying to think when I stopped pissing the bed. I think I was about 7 when the last regular occurrence happened, and I definitely liked playing with matches. Not so much the killing of animals. I mean, I killed a lizard or 2 over the years, but
yeah, and that's not like hunting either. It's like like because
torture.
a lot of American families to take their kids out hunting and stuff like that. I don't agree with it, but I get it's a good way of life. I don't
Why
mind
don't you? What? Yeah, why don't you agree with that?
I don't. Well, hunting is probably to do with the fact that I'm British. I grew up in the countryside, and hunting over here is very different to hunting over in America. It's probably largely due to ignorance.
Fox hunting is just a fucking hobby for wankers, though, isn't it? I mean, if that's what you're thinking of, because that's where my mind tends to go. Or sorry, it's not where my mind goes. When I think hunting, I think of a deer blind and hunting properly. But when I hear the word in context in this country, I'm just like, oh, those wankers are out again on their horses chasing foxes, are they?
Yeah. No, I don't. I get the hunting thing. And I get that it's something that it's inherently bred into us and all that sort of stuff. But I just think in this day and age, I just don't agree with. I don't know whether it's necessary. If you know what I mean.
But
now I know that American hunters, like the proper hunters, the ones that take it seriously, they're very, very invested in not letting the animals suffer, and their kill shots are normally very good. And if they're not, they'll track the animal incessantly to make sure they finish the job. I know most of them are actually very, animal rights minded, if that makes sense. But
yeah,
I know that I just can't really sign off on the idea when there's other food sources available.
Okay, I can. Would you like me to throw some stuff at you about hunting, particularly in America, because that's the only one I've got experience with?
Cover me with it, mate. Just throw it all over me. Go for it.
Okay, so one, they've got a tax system, so there's a limit. You can't just go out and just blow everything to pieces. Sure. So I'm talking specifically in Arkansas. You've got a hunting season. Pretty much everywhere has a hunting season, though. And it's usually the winter months, so September through to March-ish. And can
I just say, I'm not hold a sign sort of like avid anti-hunting or anything like that.
Yeah.
If I'm with someone and they want to go hunting, I'll go along with them. I just don't necessarily want to partake in it. I'm not going to stop anyone from enjoying it, and I get that it's a pastime and it's fine.
But it's more than that, because it's part of land management. Without it, so you've got certain animals, hogs, for instance, are decimating Texas.
Yeah.
Because they breed prolifically. When a normal domesticated pig escapes out into the wild, it sort of devolves into one of the tusky. So you know what our pigs look like, the nice ones that we turn into bacon sandwiches. If that gets loose with other hogs, it will start growing like tusks and shit. It will like mental. Devolve.
Yeah,
crazy animals, but they breed like rabbits or pigs, I suppose, and they're remorseless. They destroy land, so they're classed as a pest.
Okay, so I can get behind that. That's a necessary evil
for land management. Now, deer, which is obviously not obviously, but it's the most popular sort of hunting there is, because all the different sorts. Now, most people eat what they catch. And when I went hunting with the hillbillies out in America, they took bits of it. They didn't take all of it. And if they didn't want it, they donated the meat to places that needed it. So it was like a lot of children homes. There's a lot of homes out in America for kids who are just not wanted. And they would donate it to them, and it'd be a hog roast, and it'd be just a nice treat for everybody.
Yeah.
But without that land management, without that hunting, those animals become a proper menace. I mean, I know deers are beautiful creatures and they're lovely, but they also eat all of the crops that vegans want to eat.
Yeah.
In fact, there's a funny statistic, actually, that deers are becoming less healthy, the ones that are outside of ranges and the ones that are near farms, because they're eating all the shitty GM corn. They're getting into the fields and they're eating all of this super corn. So they're just like, they're getting like deer diabetes, or I don't know what fucking disease it is.
Deer
AIDS. They're just getting that because they're just eating real shitty, unhealthy food. Because obviously we've taken up their land, but unfortunately, we are a disease on this planet, and we need to have a space to be diseasing. It's like like the buffalo in America. It's a travesty how many of those were killed. But if those herds of 1 million buffalo were just wandering around, they would tear apart everything. I mean, train tracks, roads, houses, it would just be gone. When those motherfuckers start charging, yeah, sure, a few of them might die, but everything else is gone. There's that many, the force behind it.
No, I'm fully behind the pest control aspect of it. You know, as far as American hunting goes, I think that's a bullshit argument when it comes to fox hunting over here. There's more humane ways of controlling fox populations and fucking setting a load of ridiculous on them.
I mean, I
won't go into that.
but go into it, because I think it's a douchey thing to do. I mean, I really do. But I think pheasant hunting's a douchey thing to do, because when I did it, they were pretty douchey. I mean, in all their fucking Burberry get up and everything. I'm just there in camouflage clothes because it's hunting, and I only know American hunting. So you camouflage yourself, and they're all in like lovely little
You're up in the trees.
Hats. Yeah, just there fucking hitting. It was a shit day out. But yeah, I think fox hunting is pointless. It is shit, and it's just a cunty way to fucking kill an animal. However, I don't care that much. I mean, it makes more jobs, so the amount of foxes they get is minimal. You've got all the people who look after the horses getting a job from it. All the people who look after the dogs are getting a job from it. So for the one fox that those cunts kill in a month, go on, fuck off. I don't care. It doesn't bother me that much, but I'm with you. It's a total cunty thing to do. I think
that bothers me more, that there's a whole institute built on it, that people have got their jobs because of something like this. You know, that's something that we should be looking at, because there's fucking jobs out there for other people. There
are, but then there's jobs that make people happy, aren't there? Like, but horsey people, what they get equestrian. Is it equestrians or is that water? No, it is equestrians, isn't it?
Equestrian's horse, yeah.
Yeah.
Aquarian
those people. Yeah, thank you. Got in there, so Amy doesn't have to.
She'll still fucking correct something.
Yeah, probably. People who like horses love horses, and there aren't that many jobs involved in it, unless you're like a 3-foot high jockey. What else do you get? Or want to ride around on a show pony, all like this. It's one of those things that I think it's nice that they're able to still have a job involved in something that they love doing. And as you say, yes, there are other jobs out there, but given the option of looking and maintaining a stables for some douchebag who wants to once a month get his jollies riding through singing tally-ho, blowing on his horn while they chase a fox down, if it gives them a livelihood that they're happy and they enjoy, again, I don't really see the problem in it. Foxes are cunts. They're cute. They're very, very cute, but they are also pricks. I mean, have you seen what they do to a chicken house?
But what would happen now if I said, right, I want to organise a new sport, right? And what it is, it's basically a big bicycle race. We're all going to get on our bikes. We're going to go through the country on our mountain bikes, but you can only win the race once you've clubbed a badger to death with a hockey stick, right? That's the new sport. Everyone would just look at me and be like, no. Because
it's not really the same, though, is it?
Why? Because it's not established and it's not rich people doing it.
Because you haven't got dogs doing it. Dogs do the hunting, don't they? Those dogs are literally, that's their instinct, is to chase and maim shit.
Which we've...
Is it not?
Yeah, we've made them like that, you know. I mean, technically, we haven't. We made them not like that, and then we made them like that again.
Oh, you're right, actually, aren't we? It's like when you see the meme of a wolf, and it's like, oh, I'll go sit by this warm fire. What's the worst that can happen? And then you see a pug in a birthday hat. And you're like, that's the worst that can happen.
This is what happens when you trust humans.
But it is natural instinct for dogs to do that. I follow a YouTuber who he goes duck hunting, and I mean, actually, I watch quite a lot of hunting videos. But yeah, he's got this dog, and it's a puppy, and you know when you see a happy animal, you can tell that it's happy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like when I went pheasant hunting, we had some dogs out with us because they're really good at chasing out pheasants. In fact, one of the motherfuckers just caught one. So when we chased it down, he's just like, just bit it, brought it back to his owner. It's like, oh, fucking hell. I've never seen a happier dog. At the end of the day, when they're all like lined up, just on the back of a fucking truck, the dogs were there just waggling their tails like, look what I fucking did.
I know they like it and that, but I just don't see it as being a necessary thing to do.
It is not necessary. It really isn't necessary, but neither is TikTok, and people love that as well, mate.
But nobody dies from that,
don't they? Just wait, there'll be a fad. What was that fucking stupid one where people eating aerial pods?
Yeah,
I want to eat this.
Every now and then they throw something out there to try and confuse the old Americans, don't they?
yeah. And they do look yummy. When you look at them, you're like, oh.
Well, I mean, you're talking to a man who recently did an entire clothes wash with dishwasher tablets because I was shopping in a hurry and just picked up something. I was like, oh, that's blue and white with a dot in the middle. I'll use that. And then all my clothes smelled of degreaser for like ages.
But did they come up clean?
They came out, I mean, clean, but they smelled awful.
Yeah,
and the smell wouldn't go away either. I had to wash them like 3 times with normal washing.
But at least there was no grease on them. They're all shiny.
True, yeah.
I got a friend who used to use Fairy for everything because that's the same stuff. You just got to use less. Just put it in this washing machine. He's now engaged in that. So they put a stop to that.
Oh right. I thought that was like a cause and effect thing. He used to use washing up liquid in his washing machine, and now he's engaged.
Well, it probably is. Everybody likes to fix a rubber.
I won't fucking do that then. I won't make that mistake. That was close. But so no, like the American hunting, I get, and especially. Like obviously, I've got no problem at all, no issue at all with these people that live out. Like I was watching that, I want
Alaska
to say
something
60 degrees above or something like that or below.
Oh, that's in Alaska, isn't it?
And there's a woman on that though. She was like, she's probably in her late 50s, early 60s.
Can I guess? She lived in what she called a compound in Alaska, and she had weird fox friends.
Oh, I don't know about that.
There were loads of foxes.
Oh no, she was just there with her dog.
Oh,
it was like a shipping container, transformed into a house, and there's loads of them.
She got prosecuted because she was feeding the foxes because they're technically a pest in the part of the world where she is.
Right.
And she featured in a show called Life Below Zero as well.
Could have been that.
And she's been on Joe Rogan's podcast many, 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 many years ago. She's crazy though. She walks around with that massive, great Magnum on her hip, doesn't she?
But the point I was making is that she didn't. She didn't use she didn't have a lot of food and stuff like that for the winter. She would take a certain amount, but she will take like base ingredients, like things to cook with, and then she would go out and hunt for meat.
That's called subsistence living.
Yeah, I mean that I can fully get behind if it's being used and everything like that.
That's a dream. I would love to live like that. Oh my God, I would love that to be life. Honestly, I watch those Alaskan-based shows, and there's one, I think it's called Alaska: The Last Frontier, and it follows this family called the Kilchers. I mean, shout out to them if they're listening. Probably not.
It definitely will be.
And the dad in it, because they're a big family. Apparently in Alaska, you just got to breed. Just got to have a buttload of babies. It's the only way to survive.
One of them will survive.
Yeah, well, all of these fuckers did. And you either do a subsistence living where you hunt for your meat. You get your moose, you freeze it, everything's cushy, or you farm. So you grow the meat or you hunt the meat. They're your 2 options. There's no in between. Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I like the idea of it. It's a very romantic idea. Like, I like the idea of living in an igloo community or something like that, like an Eskimo community. That's a nice idea. But I think the reality of it would be awful.
Probably.
I mean, not being funny. I wake up some mornings, I can't be asked to put bread in the toaster to make toast. It just seems like such a fucking effort. And I'm like, I might be able to survive until lunchtime. I might starve. I'm willing to take that choice. I'll take the chance.
Well, with them,
If I
you
had to
can't
get
even
up
get
and then
bread.
go out and fucking hunt a rabbit or something like that, and then not only hunt the rabbit, skin it, gut it, butcher it properly, fucking cook it up. Half the day's gone by the time you've done that. You need another rabbit just to get going.
You can die from just eating rabbits. There's not enough calories in it. Fun fact: can't survive on rabbits alone. I think what they do is they get a big game, don't they? They shoot a deer or they shoot a moose, which is the size of a cow, or one of those ugly fucking musk ox cow things.
Yeah.
Talked about the other week. It's
okay. So
you shoot a big one and then it lasts you a while.
Yeah, but then I get bored of eating the same thing. Like I get bored of eating a meal. Halfway through it, I'll get bored of it. You know, like I couldn't eat the same thing every day for like weeks.
Well, I think it all depends what you do with it. I mean, like if you had a pig,
I think you'd have to do a big hunt, like a big shop. Like
yeah,
you sort of get to your cabin, go out, you get yourself a pig. Oh look, there's a goose. I'll take that. You're allowed a bit of rabbit, aren't you?
I mean, you're allowed as many rabbits as you want. They're a pest, aren't they?
Well, no, but they'll kill you if you eat them.
Oh no, if you live on nothing but rabbit, there's a term for it. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen now. It's some sort of a toxic thing. They are fairly high in protein, but they've got like no fat, so you can't survive on just rabbit. It's just not got enough other shit in it to keep you going. And rabbit's horrible. Of all the meats, I mean, I haven't tried cat or dog, admittedly. I've had horse and zebra, both of which, and ostrich, all of them nicer than rabbit.
I've had alligator as well. I didn't like alligator.
Oh, I've had alligator. Yeah, it felt like fish and tasted like chicken. It was just weird.
It struck me as that weird sort of like belly pork sort of consistency, but without the flavour.
I really like belly pork. I mean, I had it in one of those. What was that chain of pubs that was a little bit Australian?
Walkabout.
Yeah, that's exactly where I had it. So I don't think it was a particularly good example of it.
I used to get free entry into Walkabout in North London, in Islington.
Why's that?
Because I rather foolishly got involved in an enormous bar fight and helped the bouncers sort it out. And the manager came out and gave me free entry. He said you can have free entry for as long as I'm working here.
Oh, I didn't know you had to pay. I've never paid to get into a Walkabout, and I probably wouldn't.
This one it was only like Friday, Saturday nights it would charge because it was like a nightclub as well.
Ah, okay. I hate that. Do you not hate paying to get into a nightclub? Does that not just feel like the fucking gayest thing ever?
Yeah.
Do you want to come in and not be able to talk to your friends because it's really loud, be really sweaty, and pay £10 for a pint? Yeah. Plus, it's 20 quid to get through the door.
Yeah. There's pretty much two attitudes walking into a club, isn't there? There's the fucking let's get on it, sort of straight to the dance floor, bang. Yeah. And there's the I've just been robbed and it's noisy and hot in here and I just want to fucking drink.
Yeah, well, I sit down somewhere I can smoke fags constantly while I drink beer and talk shit with people.
Yeah, it's not too much to ask, is it?
No. I basically just want to do this, Mushu.
Yeah, well, yeah. And just to point out, this is a beer garden here.
Look, there's a beer behind him. Go on, swivel again.
There
it is.
Just there.
Good old beer garden. Oh, dearie me. But what other? I've got a list of I was trying to think of all of the TV shows that are crimey related that I've actually watched.
Okay. I don't watch a lot of them, to be fair. I'm not a big fan of the true crime things.
Me either. Really not my cup of tea. But I knew we'd be chatting.
Those Unexplained Mysteries, I think it is, on Netflix. I tried one of them, or a couple of them.
That. Is that UFOs or is that murdering people?
Everything. It's just unsolved cases. It's like one per episode. And I watched it, and it's well. The thing is, the one I watched. Let me give you a quick rundown of it. Yeah, it was a woman had checked into a hotel room in Norway. In
Norway. Okay.
Yeah. And she checked in using a fake name. Gone up to her room. 3 days later, one of the cashiers realised that they hadn't taken her credit card details. So they've got security to go up to her room. there's the do not disturb thing on the door. Security's knocked on the door. As they've knocked on the door, they've heard a single gunshot. Right. So he's run off to get the police. There's 15 minutes between him going to get the police and the police coming by. They've found the door double locked from the inside. And then when they've gone in, the woman's dead on the bed with a single gunshot to the front of her head, like that. And she's holding the gun in her hands with the gun with her thumb on the trigger, pointing at her. Yeah.
Okay.
Blood splatter everywhere, obviously, apart from on the weapon and her hand. And it is kind of suspicious, but what put me off was the fact that everyone's like, the people they're interviewing, they're like, the main guy is a journalist and he so wants there to be a conspiracy, and you can see it. He's everything he's making out to be like, oh, and there's 15 minutes, so anyone could have come and gone in this time in the 15 minutes, and it's like, yeah, they could have done, but you know, I don't know, he's too much. He's trying to make too much out of stuff that the police have obviously looked into and discarded.
That is quite often the case. Did you watch the Bob Lazar documentary about Area 51, or not Area 51, the one that's just down the road from Area 51?
No.
Area 50 or something. Okay, that's quite interesting because Bob Lazar was discredited years ago. I think we've spoken about this before, but I'm going to do it again.
Yeah,
sorry.
Why the fuck not?
So Bob Lazar was an engineer back in the 80s, maybe 70s, and he put like a jet engine on his car, and yeah, he just reverse engineered stuff. He was an engineer. He went somewhere, and someone from the military, I don't know the specifics, saw his car because it had been in the newspaper a few days before. Saw his car when he pulled up to this thing and was just like, "That's amazing." And got chatting, and anyway, gets offered a job. Now, his job was to reverse engineer this weird engine thing they had, which was clearly extraterrestrial. He saw vehicles that he couldn't explain that could definitely be of extraterrestrial origin. Then he went public and said all of this, and he got discredited. But more than that, he had his entire history erased. He had his certifications from university gone. He had everything. His whole job history gone. Every single thing was gone. But there are people who are like, he was in my class. What the fuck? His history of addresses gone. But there's like a yellow pages or the equivalent with his name and the telephone still there. And then last year, or maybe the year before, because 2020 has kind of warped my perception of time lately. So maybe 2019, maybe 2020, I don't know. Everything got declassified, and all the stuff that he said was fake has subsequently been proven to be real. But that's not my point. That's like, it's an interesting part of the documentary because he doesn't not really like talking about it. But the documentary was made by this hipster guy whose name I don't know, and I don't really want to look up either. He's way too keen and way too passionate to push his agenda. And you can see like Bob Lazar was like holding back a little bit. And he's like, oh, I don't really want to go into this, but he's a filmmaker, so he's like, naturally he's quite pushy because he wants to get his personal agenda across. And I do find that with all of these documentaries, like Making a Murderer, for instance. Making a Murderer. That's, what was it? Brendan Dassey and Stephen Avery. I always forget Stephen Avery's name. That's what I was just glancing at, because it's Brendan Dassey. I totally remember his name because that's ridiculous. Heartbreaking that he's still in prison.
Yeah.
But the whole documentary from the get-go is of that perception that they are innocent from the very start. There's no, is he guilty? Is he not guilty? It's the way it's filmed and the way it's portrayed is that he's innocent. And then it's more a case of, who did it, or who done it, if you will. And that's always the case with these things, I find. I mean,
it would be nice, wouldn't it, if they did a documentary or something where they just presented you with cold, hard facts of what happened. Like, here's the crime, here's the suspects, or like whatever. Here's the evidence we've got. Here's CCTV footage, and then they like literally let you piece together what you thought happened, and then release what actually happened as the finale or something like that. That'd be quite good fun.
I think, it would be. Because I don't know. So where do you stand on Stephen Avery? Guilty or innocent?
I don't think he's guilty personally.
I don't either.
I think if anything, I think they're both innocent. And I think, to be honest, the damage has pretty much been done now, considering how much time
Stephen Avery's he's been in prison for like 30 years now, hasn't he? I mean, he got out briefly. But the thing that got me the most about Stephen Avery is he was about to sue, and he was about to get paid massively from the state just before that all happened, wasn't he? And it was going to be something like roughly 2 million for every year that he was in prison, which would have just like bankrupted his local county or whatever. So he'd have ended up with like 50 million. But because because that girl died and everything pointed at him, he had to settle for like 100,000 or like a pittance of what he deserved, because he was definitely innocent of the first crime, like 100%. Yeah,
I think it's just inconsistent police, prejudicial policing as well. I mean, I would hope that a lot has been done to reform the police service since then.
Yeah.
I mean that sort of thing is, once
America,
a documentary's made, but once a documentary's made about this sort of stuff and it's brought to the light, it gets very embarrassing. And the best sort of way of covering it up is just slowly push out the people that, that don't really fit, and bring in new people and that sort of thing, and just do it very subtly.
Yeah, but
I would hope that's
America's an interesting place because it's 50 odd states, all individually governed. They don't have the same laws that we have that are universal across the whole country.
Well, that's an interesting point of what came up on the Night Stalker thing. I don't know if you picked up on it, but when the detectives were talking, and he's like, across LA, you've got like 5 different law enforcement agencies working within the LA county, and he's like, you can drive 2 miles across county and go through 5 different jurisdictions.
I see, that's fucked up, isn't it? but that's what I mean, is that you've got 2 senators roughly per state, and most of those states are bigger than our whole country, and we've got what, 214, is it? Or how many people have we got? How many MPs?
Oh fuck, don't know.
Hundreds of the fuckers.
Too fucking many. They're like foxes.
Yeah. Fucking get the poor people out on their bicycles with hockey sticks.
Go out and club a politician. Fucking loads of people go out for that. Christ,
totally.
I can rent bicycles. I'll be a millionaire.
Yeah. Does it make jobs though? That's the real question.
Yeah, I'll need someone to fucking make hockey sticks for me, because they'll go out of fashion.
Yeah.
Someone to oil my bicycle wheels. Yeah, I'm on to a winner.
Yeah, well, or Halfords is one of the two.
Comment below. Are you up for a bit of bicycle back politician bashing?
You're gonna have your door knocked, mate.
I can hear them outside now.
Oh God, Sam and Mushu, you're off on one again. Oh God, and they're up to 68 viewers now.
They've found fresh victims.
Oh God!
In serial killer terms, 68 is pretty good.
Well, yeah, I suppose it is. Oh dearie me, but yeah, it's just a crazy place, isn't it? It's too big to be one country, and it's got too many differences. Like weed is legal in like 30 of the 50 states now, maybe even more than that. But it's not in all of the states. That doesn't exactly inspire unity. And I mean, it's a bad example, but it's the most current example, and it's the one that's because it's such a pointless thing to put people in prison for. It just seems so stupid not to have it legal in all of them. But why isn't it in all of them when it is in Washington, where where Senate is, and where the Prime Minister, where the President is?
When it came to your country's laws, they would be black and white for everyone. Yeah, like obviously bylaws. I think bylaws should be governed by local area. Because certain things, like mountainous regions might have to have traffic bylaws in place for like driving speeds and stuff like that. Like it's illegal to drive during these months over a certain speed.
Yeah,
but they wouldn't make sense in Texas. So obviously, like the little bylaws.
They fucking would last week though. You see the snow?
That was such a bad example, wasn't it? Sorry, Texas.
It really was. Texas. They are not built. My old dear's just flown back to America, and she got stuck in Houston for 14 hours. I think that was snow related, because it was like no power. It's like it's the coldest I've ever been, because they deal with the heat amazingly. Clearly, can't fucking handle the snow.
Yeah, well, I see their senator's fucked off as well, doesn't he? Definitely not gone to Mexico. God.
But did you see what he wrote? No, not the senator. The senator, yeah, he fucked off to Mexico and he's gone. It's so fucking funny, isn't it? Whoa, it's chilly. Come on, Fab, let's go.
Off to sunnier climes. Don't forget your shorts.
Yeah. Did he go to Ecuador? Is that where he went?
I can't remember. It's somewhere down south of the border, wasn't it?
Either way, where he went sounded lovely. Texas, not so great at that point in time.
Not so good, yeah. But they're blaming like frozen wind turbines. Saying the wind turbines froze. That's why the power's gone off. Okay, right. And of course, solar panels don't work in the cold. A lot of the Americans have been saying that because it's too cold for the solar panels to work. Fucking world!
Oh my God!
This is like when that fucking Florida, the politician from Florida, objected to the solar panels because he didn't want them soaking up all the sun, because that's what they made. That's what made the state famous. Like.
Fuck! It's not like an orange.
Yeah, it's literally like they've just plucked an ape from the jungle, popped a suit on him. It's like, make some policies up.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, yeah, but another guy from Texas, I don't know what his position was, unfortunately. Literally, as it happened, he did like a Dolph Lundgrenberg, and he was like, if he dies, he dies. It's like, some of you will die because it was snowing. I was like, you can't he lost his job. Next day, he was out the door. So you can't say that, can you? You're like, oh, there's snow. We don't often get snow. Some of you are probably going to die. Like, I don't know if I really admire the candid way he talks, or if he's just a total arsehole.
You'd be stood there. You'd be like, well, I mean, at least he's honest. I mean, it's a bit of a prick thing to say, but anyone else would have lied.
Yeah, he's probably the only politician to be honest ever, and they're like, "Well, we don't like that. Out you go." It's just,
I think I respect that.
Oh wow! I was blown away when I saw it. I was just like, "Oh, you cold, man? That's not right."
Like you meet him in the middle of a blizzard. He's like, "I'm going to mug you. I'm going to take all your clothes and use them for fuel for my fire." You're like,
"Yeah."
He is so honest. I am definitely voting for this guy. as you're taking your top off. There you go.
Yeah. Can I keep my pants? No. I'm going to use those to start the fire. Sure. And vote for me. Here's a lolly.
Will do. Thanks a lot.
Totally fucked up. Yeah, America. Fuck yeah.
Bless them.
They're a special breed, aren't they?
Aren't they just? What just made?
Should we
made a bing bong?
A bing bong?
Yeah.
I didn't hear a bing bong. You got a doorbell. CMP's coming to get you, Mushu, because you suggested hunting him down with Jolly Holly sticks. Holly.
Oh, right. I'm off. I'll be back in 4 years.
Oh God,
it's a new name. I'll be Eduardo Suarez.
Yeah, they're not going to hang you for treason.
Yeah, mate. Do they still do that?
I don't know. It's not happened in a long time. Anyway, should we bring the mood up a little bit and do some YouTube videos?
Yeah, why not? Okay, so I've been a little bit slack this week because I've had other stuff on, but you've been your normal enthusiastic self when it comes to videos anyway, haven't you? So you picked a load of treats for me.
Yeah, they're not very long though. I kept them short this week.
That's fine. That's fine. They don't have to be long.
Well, we sat through that whole Australian politician thing, didn't we? And I was like, "Oh, funny as it was, it is a bit long."
Yeah.
So I did keep them a bit short, but I can only remember one of them that I sent over to you, which I'm hoping will be the very first one, and it's only, I think, 10 seconds long.
Well, we'll see. They're not in the order you sent them to me. Put it that way.
Oh, okay. Well, we're
they're
in for a
the order
treat
that
then.
I managed to get them up. Right. So here's the first little snippet. Going on the trampoline.
Look at that, so beautiful, so graceful.
More than I could do.
Just amazing.
She's going to stack it.
Oh!
No! Oh, bless her.
Could you imagine?
No, not really. I feel really bad for her there.
I've seen that one before many times, and it's funny looking for it on YouTube. Seems that that's a bit of a problem for the ladies out there. It's just
say you think I'm getting a knock. You're getting a harder knock after that Google search.
What's funny is I remember my little girl. Gosh, she would have been very old, like maybe 3 or 4 or something like that. And she was playing on the trampoline. And one day she literally just stopped, squatted, just took a piss on the trampoline. I was like, what are you doing? It's like having a wee. I was like, can't fucking just wee on the trampoline, love. I was like, we've got toilets. We've got 2 of the bloody things. Let's go use them. Like, oh, okay. Just casually squats and just has a piss on the trampoline. Maybe it's something to do with the trampoline. So, ladies, comment below. Does it make you piss on the trampoline? It doesn't make me piss on the trampoline.
I don't know. I think it's a thing that comes with age anyway. I mean, she looked quite young. She should have more control, surely. But I don't know. I've never dealt with having to sort of hold a wee in as a woman.
I've also never dealt with doing a backflip, so I can't speak for it.
That's very true, actually. I've never done that either. Chances are it wouldn't just be wee.
Do you think if she did a front flip, she'd do a poo?
Got all these old women like, oh, my stomach's killing me. I haven't been able to pass for ages. Just do a front flip.
Yeah, it all comes spraying out.
Come on, Gladys, I'll give you a hand. There you go.
Oh, there it is.
There she blows.
But you just don't expect it when you watch that, do you? You're just like, oh, look, they've done a little slow-mo. Some really talented trampolinist. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, and all of a sudden, big spray.
In an alternate reality, she could indeed be a very talented trampolinist. I mean, in this one, clearly she's never gone near another trampoline ever. But maybe somewhere out there, she's doing grand.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. It's her face as well when she does it. You can see she's like, no!
It's one of those things. It's happening.
Don't cover your mouth, love.
Nothing's going to stop it from happening.
Oh, God. I wonder how much swagger she had before she started it. I checked this out. I could do a backflip, piece of piss, literally.
Yeah, this is going to go viral. You watch this.
Oh, amazing. What else we got?
Let's move on. Onwards and upwards.
Oh, yeah. I only shared this.
Wait. There was no sound to that.
It's all about the sound. Are you sure? Because it's just quiet at the beginning.
Is it?
Yeah. But I only shared this because I was under the impression that he must be the most annoying child in the world.
Well, let's see.
Fire it back up and just go, like, skip on a little bit.
No, we'll watch it.
Yeah, it's sound.
I'm not getting any sound on this.
I'm getting sound. He's just beatboxing. Well, just stop it because it's just some annoying dorky kid doing beatboxing, and he's very, very impressive. But God, could you imagine if your kid was into beatboxing? How irritating that would be.
It's kind of like the recorder or the bagpipes. I've already spoken about these sort of things. They're instruments to be mastered, never, ever, under any circumstances, to be learnt.
Yeah, true. Never encourage your kids to use a recorder or a violin.
If my boys come to me with anything like that, yeah, violin. If they come to me with any kind of instrument like that, say, Dad, I want to play this. I'll be like, are you any good at it? And they'll be like, well, I don't know. I've never played it before. Well, it's up to you then. You can play it. If you're shit, though, I'm smacking it out of your hand. So it's up to you. If you know you're good at it, crack on. But I'm not having you learning that shit under my roof.
Not under my roof, son.
No. Well, fortunately, without being too personal about myself, my boys live with their mother. So I've encouraged drums, trombone, and trumpet, which they all play now. They're currently learning, but I haven't got the space. I haven't got the space here with me for them to learn.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Don't forget to practice your trombone. But
did you see the video? It was like a TikTok video of some guy. It appeared that his mum might be a midget or he's really tall. I'm not sure which.
No,
following her around.
Yeah.
With a trumpet. That had me crying with laughter.
So good, isn't
it?
Like when she drops on the field, he's like, wah, wah, wah. I'm
gonna find that for next week. That was just too funny.
Right, I've got a feeling that's led us pretty nicely into this next video, judging by the title. I dread to think, but here we go.
Anymore. Absolutely. Now, why would you?
This is fucked up. Have you not seen this?
You didn't do anything.
I don't think so.
That's my
I mean,
work. That's my house. That's my girlfriend.
Oh, Jerry Springer, how did you find this stuff in the past?
He surprised me. I told him where I worked, and he surprised me.
Why would you?
Oh, she literally sounds like an Oompa Loompa.
Why not?
Let's meet him.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to say
Keep
that.
watching, Mushu. This is fucked up.
Oh, I have seen this. Oh!
Watch how this little guy moves. Look at this.
Mental. It's so fast.
He's like the face of my nightmares. Just imagine that little thing crawling along at you.
It's like fucking... It slid along like Voldemort, didn't he?
Yeah, well... No, but he slides along like something. He's like a crawler zombie in Call of Duty. And his fighting technique is terrible. He just goes in there with his head. Look, watch him ramming speed.
Go on, though.
So fucking...
I mean, what's security doing at this point?
Laughing, I mean, look at him roll away.
I'm going to stop it there.
Stop it. Yeah. It's enough of that. But I found that because I know what the next video is. Because we talked about the next video. You told me about it, but I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
And that was just underneath it. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen that in a little while. But it's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is gratuitous fucking porn, isn't it? Like just like it's what's
wrong.
The word? It's designed particularly to just sort of get viewers.
Yeah, it's like dog shit. You keep your eyes on it the whole time until you're past it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but you don't want to get involved in it, really.
Yeah, how'd you break that up as well? I mean, they're not kids, they're adults, and it's pretty funny. I mean, it's the way he just moves so fast on the floor. He's just like a little seal. No, not a seal. It's like he's swimming along the land.
Yeah, kind of like a seal, but a seal in fast forward.
Yeah, it does. It's like someone's just put fast forward. It's like in the movie Click with Adam Sandler, and he's got a fast forward button. He's like, oh, I ain't waiting for this.
Like if that ever needed a sound effect, it'd be like that sort of sound.
With a bit of a concerted effort, I'm sure we could find a video where they put different sound effects on it.
Almost definitely. Talking about amazing sound effects, is this next video the video I think it is that we were talking about last time?
This is the one you said about. I took a note and it said midget gym ball video. Just that, and that's what I typed into YouTube, and this is what came up.
This is the one.
It's short, but it's sweet. I want to see it again. Just that little. What game is this as well? What an arsehole. He's got one midget friend. He can go after any of them with that ball, and he goes for him.
And then so. I mean, I don't know. It's the perfect matching of the puddle, everything, isn't it?
you hear the thud of the ball, then you hear that thud off of him, and it's just that perfect.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh my. And well, that was the pacifist pick this week.
Yes, it was.
It's put a tear to my eye. That's.
It feels like we've really picked on. I'm going to go down this route, and I've realised that there's no way that I'm not going to be more offensive. So I'm just going to stop. Actually, no, we don't mean to be victimising any particular groups. Put it that way.
What, midgets?
Yeah, I don't know if you're allowed to call
Pecs? Oompa.
See, this is what I meant about it getting more offensive. Fuck it, I've got to learn to keep my mouth shut on this.
What are they going to do to me? I'm like 6'5". I mean, if there were like 20 of them, I'd still give it a go. It's ridiculous. I remember on the first ever podcast I listened to was the Ricky Gervais one, and I think in the first episode they talked about an article where a lion mauled a whole team of midgets. There were, I don't know how many there were, but it must have been like, I don't know, 10 or 15 of them that were trying to fight a lion. And I'm so with Ricky Gervais on this that he was like, good for the lion. It's like, you know, the lion didn't want to fucking be there. He just wants to be laying in some savannah chasing after an antelope. And they put him in there to fight some midgets, and he fucked them up. But yeah.
Where was this?
I don't know, Argentina or somewhere like that. Somewhere Spanishy.
I mean, that's got to be frowned upon, surely.
That was a while ago. Everything's frowned upon from a while ago, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. They used to have such fun back in the day, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it was like a gladiator arena type thing, and they did not expect the midgets to get mauled, and they did. They got really mauled.
Well, one of my ex-colleagues from a particular job transferred out to the same particular job in a different country, which I'm not going to mention either.
I love the details of this story already. They're
good,
just so vivid and wonderful.
It really paints a picture.
Yeah.
But it was a very hot country, like tropical country. And he's the first time he went to the local bar, he was telling me they were doing midget tossing.
Where's that?
It's nowhere nearby. It's going to cost you quite a lot to get out there, mate. But yeah, midget tossing.
Brazil, isn't it?
To be honest, I don't actually know on a globe whereabouts these islands are. But,
they're islands. Okay. Narrowed it down a little bit.
Geography is not my best spot. I'm not terrible, but I'm not great.
I'm awful, mate. Anything above London is north to me.
In which case, yeah, they're down by Portugal.
Oh, fine. No idea where that is either.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So midget tossing. I mean,
yeah. He said there's just a big tarpaulin set out almost like a bowling alley.
Oh, sliding them.
Yeah, and they had it was all oiled, like this big oil tarpaulin. And you picture midget, grab them by the breech of the trousers and fucking sling them down this thing like a slip and slide.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like they're in a Velcro suit and you throw them against one of those Velcro sticky walls.
No, which seemed to quite heavy.
That's what I was going to say. They look dense. They look like you'd
need some form of trebuchet system, I'd imagine. I mean, I don't know what's the sort of law-appointed way of launching a midget.
Well, I've seen that one. I should have sent it. I was going to send it and I didn't because I didn't want to just single out midgets or hobbits, whatever they are, in one episode.
It's getting worse.
Where you know those big inflatable things that you jump on one end and someone sat on the other end and you get catapulted off. Well, I've seen one with a midget getting done on that, and they put the exact same sound effect on it, the exact same one.
I mean, I'd imagine if I was someone like that, if I had that particular condition, I would be pretty pissed off with that noise being applied to every time I went in the water. It's fucking wicked. But as I
said last week,
funny. It's a funny noise.
Every time it's a midget, it's the bloop, And every time it's a fat person, it's the old footage of the nuclear tests in America. It's the two of them, isn't it? That's all it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe I'll pick on them next week. What would them be, my people? Yeah, but probably won't. Depends if Sophie's going to be here. If she is, I'll go back to nature.
Yeah, might as well. What animals eating what this week?
Yeah,
who knows?
What animals? Yeah, what I want is a cat taking on a bird of prey, because that feels like it's evenly matched.
Do you think? No, I don't think so. Well, it depends what bird of prey.
Well, I don't really know many. I've seen a bird of prey take on a goat, and really cleverly, it just picked it off a mountain, just dropped it. Just literally just pulled it off the edge of a mountain, dropped it, and then once it was down at the bottom, it just landed and ate it. Fucking amazing.
I saw a little documentary the other day, just on a slight side tangent, with frogs, about these frogs that they're climbing up in the mountains, like they climb right up the mountains, like. And
I'm getting images of Mr. Toad with a backpack on and his,
it's
double-breasted.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Off they go, yeah, and they're plodding along, but they've got they're not poisonous, they're not venomous or anything like that. They've got no real defense system.
Yeah.
And it just so happens, I don't know why they always do this in the animal kingdom, but they've got their habitat. Yeah. Then they've got this big mountain, and then they've got their breeding ground at the top of this mountain. Right.
Why do they do that? That's so
animals
dumb.
are wankers. Sorry.
Yeah, they are.
It really annoys me.
Fuck the animals.
As if that's not bad enough, the mountainous area is home to a creature called the toad-eating tarantula. Right.
That sounds like something I want to kill with fire. Just throwing that out there.
And especially if you're one of these toads, it's not good news.
Toads.
Yeah. So the defense mechanism.
What's that all about?
Toads. I don't know. I mean, they are toads. There's no air bunnies.
What's the point of the air quoting in there?
I don't know.
One of these toads.
I don't know why I did air bunnies. Yeah, so this toad's defense mechanism, basically, and it's fucking climbed for ages. And this spider comes over the top, and it's like, ugh. And this toad just clenches up into a ball, basically, and just bounces all the way down the mountain, boing, and it essentially turns himself into a bouncy ball. And he just bounces.
Amazing.
Kind of good. Kind of fucking pointless, though, because he just climbed up a mountain and then just had to bounce all the way back down. It's like, what's up? Saw one of those spiders again. Oh, yeah, that's where they live. Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm off to climb the mountain again. Then, like 5 minutes later, doing, 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 doing. What's up? Then another fucking spider, wasn't there?
Hang on. Frogs lay spawn. They just lay frog spawn, don't they?
Well, I'd assume so. Toads? Do toads do that? I don't know. Oh no, we're gonna get a fucking snarky comment now. Toads quite well known for nesting and laying eggs or something like that.
Yeah, I'll clip this and send it over to her. She'll get right on it. Yeah, correct us down below. Specifically talking to you, Amy.
Yeah, you know who you are.
You know it. Every time we fuck up on an animal fact, I expect nothing but a chastising.
Yeah, but anyway, that's what I thought that was quite interesting, because but on the flip side of it, you've got the horror toad, which Sophie named herself after. And
no, it's true, but she doesn't climb up a mountain, does she?
No, but are you familiar with the horror toads? What they do?
Well, you see, my problem is when I hear it, I think of Futurama, and I don't think it is actually the horror toad I'm thinking of. The newscaster. You're thinking of
Hypnotoad, aren't you?
That's what I'm thinking of. Every time I read her name, I'm just like, no. The Hypnotoad.
No, a horror toad is an actual creature. It's an actual toad.
Okay.
And it's called the horror toad because when it's threatened, it will create its own weapons by breaking its bones through its skin. So it literally breaks bones out of its skin, and it will use them as weapons against anything trying to eat it.
That's horrible. What a perfect name for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that one didn't take a lot of thinking, did it? It's like, whoa, what should we call this? Fuck, the horror toad. Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, nature's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is. I'm going to try and find footage of a horror toad next. That's something to look up to tonight. I don't know why this has just popped into my head, but I watched a movie yesterday called Spontaneous. Have you seen or heard of it?
No. Can
Okay.
I make a guess?
Please do.
Is it an awful B-rate sort of movie which is about people catching fire randomly or not so randomly, something maybe causing them to catch fire?
Well, it's got people in it, so you get a tick for that. B movie. I mean, actually, the effects were pretty good, and it had one or two fairly famous people in it. So, no, you're wrong. It's about a group of students at high school. All of a sudden, some of them just randomly explode. Not like nothing else is damaged. They just burst. I mean, showers of blood and gore and shit everywhere. It was brilliant. It was just brilliant. It was so funny and stupid, but brilliant. It had the girl Hannah from 13 Reasons Why. That's the girl who kills herself, and then they made 3 series out of it. No, you probably haven't seen it, but a lot of people have. It's got Hannah Baker in it. I don't know what her real name is. But yeah, it's just about these students in like their last year of school, and their classmates are just exploding around them, and it was brilliant.
So does it all happen at once, or do they happen like
just randomly? It's never explained. There is literally no explanation for it at all. They all get quarantined, and they think they've cured them, and then boom, they just start blowing up again. There's no reasons for why.
Sounds so aggravating. I have to watch it. Spontaneous, it's called, yeah.
It's called Spontaneous.
Okay, yeah, I'll give that a whirl.
It's just so fucked up, but brilliant. It's a black comedy. I do love me a black comedy. There's a couple of bits in it which aren't so funny. They always try and put a little bit of serious in these things, but on the whole, I'll give that a solid 3 out of 5. It was genuinely enjoyable. The
other day I got a wash of nostalgia. I don't know why it was, but I just wanted to watch some good old American sort of homey sort of style movie, like road trip sort of style thing.
I saw that in cinema.
Stand By Me, that sort of film.
It's not my favourite film.
Yeah, I know. Something good old country sort of film.
And
so I went on Netflix, I went on Amazon or whatever, trying to look for something, and I ended up watching Death Trench.
Brokeback Mountain. Oh.
And I don't know how I ended up watching Death Trench, but it wasn't the film I was after.
I've never even heard of it.
It might actually. I think it's called Death Trench on Amazon, but on IMDb it's called Trench 11.
Oh,
which is
no
always,
idea.
It's always a good sign when they can't even decide what the fucking film's called.
Well, it's probably the American title versus the English title, because Americans don't know words, do they?
That's true, yeah.
Like Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's not called that.
Oh no, you got to change it to Sorcerer's Stone or whatever.
Yeah, because they don't know what a philosopher is.
Someone that thinks a lot. Oh no, never mind. You never grow. I don't think they have them in your country.
Yeah. Oh, they had one.
Sorry, America. Right, so that's America, midgets. Anyone else we wanted to piss off tonight?
No, I'm pretty cool with everyone else.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it about?
Well, I mean, you can pretty much guess. It was an awful movie based on a First World War German bunker behind Allied lines, which was working on some sort of pathogen which turned people into zombies.
Oh. It's always those Germans, isn't it? If it's Nazi zombies are by far my favourite enemy. In every game, if there's ever an opportunity to have Nazi zombies, yeah, it's a winner for me.
And let's face it, no one fits a white lab coat like a Nazi German.
Well, we've said it before, and we'll say it again. They were the snappiest of all the evil people.
They certainly were.
Their uniforms were so fly. They
always had really sort of authoritarian names like Herr Mueller. Herr Mueller, the new formula is ready. Oh, we've already established that I can only do gay German.
Yeah.
The formula is ready. Like, bring it over here. Let's inject this man with the formula.
I can't do one, so I can't join in. I can think of things to say, but it ain't coming out in German.
Well, we know what you're not being in the Pacifist Podcast Christmas play.
Yeah, I'll be the narrator.
Yeah.
You don't have to do an accent for that, do you?
You're not being the Christmas Nazi.
The Christmas Nazi. Shucks, I really wanted that role.
You say, scheiße.
No, I don't want to do it. I'm all self-conscious now. It'll come out really bad.
No, that's fine. Then don't. It always makes me laugh when people people ask you to make a noise or something. Like you're explaining a noise you heard or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, what was it like?" You know, well, you want me to do it? Sort of thing. Well, just like give an idea of what it was like. Because you're like, yeah, I don't know. This noise is going to come out of my face for the first time. We're both going to hear it for the same at the same time. You know, I don't know if it's going to be like the noise I heard, like that I'm trying to tell you about. I hate that when people just like do it, expecting a perfect rendition of it. I don't know. I thought, caca. Like, sorry, just a side tangent. It just pisses me off. People expect too much out of me.
I completely get it. It's like when you have like a little, just a funny comment to say, but it's meant to be an under the breath thing, and at the time it's funny, and then people are like, "Oh my god, say that again!" And like, well, no, it's not. It's not It's not like a stand-up routine, for fuck's sake. It was just literally a one-liner that came to my head off the back of what somebody else just said. That is it. That's all there is to it. I'm not a performing monkey for you. It's just no.
Oh, you've just reminded me. I don't know if I've said this story before. A little story for you, a little Mushu story. I love a story. I used to work with this guy who was very, very Scottish. Like he was born and raised, I think, Glasgow. He had really thick Scottish accent, right? Fucking nicest bloke you'll ever meet, ever. And me, him, and this other woman, this not elderly woman, sort of in her 50s ish, had to go on this training thing, right? And we're sat, and you know that awkward training that when the PowerPoints, it's all up, but there's no trainer there yet, and you're all just sitting there quietly, like nobody really wants to say anything because there's several different groups there, and it was like that. And this guy, he looks at me and said something, right? And he was sat one side, and she was the other, and he sort of said something to me. And I was like, "Sorry, what?" And he said it again, but his accent was so thick, I still didn't get it. I was like, "Sorry, mate, what was that?" And the third time's the charm. He said it again. I was like, for the fucking life of me, I could not work out what he'd say, right? And I was like, oh, I fucked it now. I've had my 3 attempts and I've fucked it. So what do? So I did what anyone does, yeah? I just laughed. I could see in his face that he was telling a little joke. So I laughed. I was just like, yeah. And at this point, the woman's like tapped me on the leg. She's like, what did he say? And I'm like, I've looked at her. I was like, and I've looked over at him, and he's like looking at me, going, "Come on," so like I'll tell her sort of thing. And I'm, what? she's like, what was it he just said? I'm like, oh fuck! And I look back at him. He's like, "Did you just laugh out of politeness then?" Fucking, that's what I was done. I was just like, "Yeah, sorry, man." I got fucking clue what you're saying half the time. I don't know. Oh, it's so awkward though. Just trying to like the whole fucking world fell out from beneath me because it's like, what do I say here? I don't want to offend him. But
I genuinely don't understand the Scottish accent. I mean, I've had it throughout my life where people have had it, and I've got better over the years. But I don't understand how an accent where they're using pretty much all the same fucking words as we are. Scottish is abroad actually, because Scousers also, I don't know what they're fucking saying half the time, and hillbillies in America, like I can translate them, but it is not easy. They use our words. I don't know.
That clears it up.
I just don't understand how they make those words sound so wrong. But it's all our words. If they write it on paper, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
like you read
genuinely
a
don't
book
understand.
written by a Scottish person, you can read it fine. Although
Yeah,
I will
they
say,
do have
like,
some.
now, if you see the way a lot of Scottish people will text or update like Twitter and fucking Snapchat and all that sort of stuff, they are starting to write in their actual
Scottish.
in their accent.
Yeah, there are some things that they change, but and that's the same everywhere. But as a whole, they're still using English, aren't they?
And it's frustrating because you're like, we're talking the same language. Why the fuck can I not understand the words that are coming out of your mouth? Like, is this my issue or your issue? I don't know. But
as a rule, though, I bet they understand every word you're saying.
Probably, yeah. But then I'm a very well-spoken young man, you know.
And so humble.
I am extraordinarily humble as well. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, not very young though. A bit of a reach there, wasn't it?
Don't get me started on how modest I am. Unreal. Unreal. Absolutely mental.
Oh, Jesus. You're absolutely fucking crazy. Have you, I know you just had a little bit of a ranty moan just then, but have you got a big rant or moan this week?
No.
Oh. It's a lot of silence, isn't it? I feel like I've just asked Jesus a question.
Yeah, I know. No, because the thing is, ordinarily I think I'd be all over it, but at the moment it's difficult because all I've got to moan about really is stuff that I read on Facebook or stuff that happens in my house. And let me tell you, people, not a lot is going on in my house.
Are you sure? It looks like you've got a babbling brook behind you from where I'm sat.
Well, clearly at the moment I'm sat in the beer garden out the back.
Yeah, illegally. Oh, Mushu, how dare you?
Nobody really wants to hear me ranting about like constant masturbation and eating too much. It's not what anyone wants to hear.
It's the dirty secret of lockdown, isn't it? That's all everyone's been doing is eating crisps and jacking off.
It's everyone's only friend at the minute, you know. So I'm not going to stand here and bash that. Pun intended.
Oh, okay. I was like, that was well planned. Now, fair enough. I mean, it's also the world's pretty bleak at the moment, isn't it? Although I understand that tomorrow, which would be 4 days ago, if you're watching this when this is released, they're releasing. They call it a roadmap to freedom or something.
Not freedom, because that implies we're enslaved at the moment, which everyone suspects anyway, but no one's actually got the courage to state. But it's the roadmap to recovery or something like that.
Recovery, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit Alcoholics Anonymous, isn't it? But...
It is. And speaking of Alcohol Anonymous, well, not Alcoholics Anonymous per se, but alcohol. After the first lockdown, I noticed the prices in my local Wetherspoons were all up roughly 10p per pint, which I'm pretty sure they had massive deals from the government that wasn't meant to be the case, but neither here nor there, that's how much it was. I'm curious to see what the price of a pint of my normal pint will be when the pubs finally open back up again.
Yeah,
because they're going to be last, aren't they? Pubs are always last because they're the thing people want the most.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, if this last year or whatever's taught us anything, is that people generally, on the whole, are complete dickheads. And the only thing worse than a massive bunch of dickheads all over the place is a massive bunch of pissed dickheads.
Yeah, but I want to be one of those pissed dickheads.
Don't get me wrong. I want to be amongst the crowd. I want to be the dickiest, headiest of them all.
Yeah, I want to get my app and I want them to bring my drinks to my table, because that's apparently how we buy booze these days, because you're not allowed to go to a bar. Heaven forbid you talk to somebody. Yeah, I want to so bad. I worked all over Christmas, so I didn't get to have Christmas drinks, and I just want to go and get shit-faced in a fucking pub. Preferably past 10 o'clock. It was like having a fucking curfew. Oh, I've got to be home by 10:15 or my mum will worry.
I mean,
yes.
I've got to say, from my professional point of view, it was lovely.
Oh, I bet it was. From a punter's point of view, it was bullshit. You fucking arseholes on the Isle of Wight with your tier 1, that got fucked up pretty quickly, didn't it? Sharing your pints.
Don't get me started. I mean, the island, there's a definite mob culture forming on the island.
What do you mean?
Like, you see on Facebook, someone posted an innocent enough comment today saying it was something along the lines of like, "Where's this? I'm not from the island, so I'm not sure." Oh no, they saw a peacock or something like that and said like, "Oh, is this peacock like a domestic peacock? Is it supposed to be here, or should I notify anyone of it? I'm not from the island, so I don't know." Right? It's quite an innocent comment.
Yeah.
All it needs is like, no, don't worry about it. That peacock belongs to the farm near where you are.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of people that were like, "What are you doing on the island? Why are you over here? If you're not from the island, why are you here? There's lockdown, don't you know?" It's like, fucking hell, just get your pitchforks out, get your burning torches, and chase them to the fucking beach. You know, leave them alone. There could be a million reasons why they're over here. Because I'll tell you for now, right? I will fully observe all the lockdown laws or something like that. But if my dad or my mum or anyone like that needs help, I'm going to help them. And I don't give a shit where they are, where they live. I'm going to go and fucking help them. Right?
Good for you, you rule-breaking Neanderthal.
But there's a million reasons that they could be here. You know, they could be here quite legitimately. They could have just moved here. All they said was, "We're not from the island."
Why add that to a status though? It's almost just like asking for trouble. Why not just go, "Oh, there's a peacock in my garden. Anyone know where this is from? I'm based in Bembridge."
I would imagine,
for instance.
I would imagine because they're worried about just being ridiculed. Like,
well, that backfired, didn't it? They weren't ridiculed.
Spectacularly so.
Fucking chased out of town with a pitchfork.
Yeah, they're now in hiding.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah, but there's a very distinct sort of atmosphere of that going on over here at the moment, and I think a lot of people need to remember that we're a tourist destination, and that a lot of people will remember a year's worth of "fuck off, stay off my islands."
Yep.
Should we go on holiday to there next year? No, because the people there are all pricks.
Yeah, but it's everywhere, mate. People are so sensitive. Like, I left that group the other day. There was a really funny group I got invited to, and I quite enjoyed the group, actually. The posts were all pretty good. And somebody put up a post saying they were going to get a really cool tattoo, actually. It was like the Star Trek logo,
Right.
as sort of like a tribute for their dad. And they're like, "Oh, I think you're getting it done on my boob." And I just wrote, as a dad, if my daughter got a tattoo as a tribute to me, I would find it horrible. I think I put something else, but it doesn't matter. It wasn't any swearing. I was like, I find it horrible if they had it done on their boob or their bum or as a slag tag or even on their shoulder. I was like, on an ankle, sure. A wrist, sure. Everybody reported it. I was just like, I messaged, like everybody reported it. It got taken down, and then a massive shitty status got put up from the group. Oh, hang on, something's happened to my screen. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're there now. You disappeared for a moment.
iPad,
had a glorious full screen image of me.
Oh, hey,
one for the ladies.
Yeah, I regularly make it a full screen of you, Mushu, when I'm going through this, whenever you're going on a run. Yeah, so I messaged the guy, no, because he put up a big status about like reminding people of the rules, and it was just a big shitty passive aggressive one, and I was like, well, that's clearly fucking aimed at me. Yes, like 2 minutes ago you deleted my post, and I was like, fuck. Is this based on what I just wrote? Because I didn't mean to cause any offence. She asked for an opinion and I gave an opinion. It's not like I called her a fucking skank hoe bag or anything like that. And anyway, I was just like, this probably isn't the right group for me. And I left. And then I messaged the guy. I was just like, sorry, mate. Because obviously he gets aggro from it. Every time something's reported, he gets pinged. I was like, yeah, your group's funny, but I'm just going to end up upsetting people. And he's just like, I was like, my filter isn't that strong. And he's like, oh, it's not about not having a filter. It's about not being offensive, which triggered me. And I was like, hang the fuck on. I was like, saying that I think it's horrible getting a tattoo in tribute to your dad on your tit is not being offensive. It's just having an opinion as a dad, I was just like, no dad wants their daughter to get a slag tag of their name above their arsehole, do they? Or just like
no.
right on their inner thigh. That'd be lovely. Oh, daddy. No, it was nothing. But yeah, it just upset so many people. It's just like, I'm going to back off this group. I'm just going to end up really upsetting people really fucking quickly.
Wow.
I've only been on there 2 days. I think it's the first comment I've written.
That's the problem. People are too sensitive, isn't it? And like when I hate it when they sort of they try and make you feel like you're the one that's to blame. You're the one that should be responsible for them taking offence. Like, well, no, we said when we started out this podcast, we'll just say what we think, and if people take offence, then good, because it means they're actually thinking for themselves. But what we won't do is fucking pander to them and be like, oh, we won't say that in case we offend someone. No, if we're going to offend you, fuck off, don't listen to it. It's easy, right? There's a million things that I could let offend me every day, and I pick which ones I care about and which ones I don't,
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just do the scroll. I tend to just leave groups. I mean, I regularly I used to get I'm such a twat. I really am. Have I told you about the Parents Against Holiday School Fines?
No.
No.
I've
been kicked from that group a couple of times.
A couple of times.
I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't help myself, because overall the theme of the page was quite good. It gave out lots of interesting information. But then you just had usually mums, admittedly, it was usually mums, banging on about homework and how it's dreadful and that's family time and they shouldn't have to do work when they're off, when they're at home. And I always find myself, I sympathise massively with teachers, because I think you are great. If any teachers are listening, I love you. You're a wonderful, wonderful people, because you do a job that, one, I don't want to do, and two, I couldn't fucking do. Just my language alone. I get
sick of my kids within half an hour, and these people voluntarily, they put themselves in that position where they're with them for fucking hours on end.
They are
legends,
the best people. I love them. So then I'd see these posts where it's just a big echo chamber of just what I imagine scumbags just slagging off teachers, and I'm like, nah. So I'd just go in at them, and I would get a lot of hate, but there'd always be like 3 or 4 little likes, and you'd be like, they're the teachers that are in this group. You can see it. But we're in a lockdown, so I'm trying not to be too horrible. It doesn't mean I'm not. I mean, I'm still a total cunt.
I think if we're trying to avoid offending anyone, we fucked it hard in this episode.
Well, this is ours, though, isn't it?
That's what I say. Like, if people take offence, I'm sorry. I don't like you taking offence, but I'm not going to change my opinions because you're offended by it. I just don't expect you to listen to my opinions.
Well, yeah, and that's the glory of an opinion. It's like arseholes. Everybody has one. It's I don't like echo chambers where people are really supporting people about something that they're wrong. That's came out really badly.
I get what you mean, though, and it is fucking frustrating when like everyone's harping on about the same thing, and you're just like, but can none of you see that this is bullshit? You're all in the wrong here.
Yeah. And this is a bad one, and I'll probably offend people when I see this, but when someone looks awful, and then you see all of their pretty friends saying, "Oh, babe, you look gorgeous," rah rah rah, and I'm just like, I would never comment on that because that's just mean, and I'm not going to. I'm not trying to ever batter anybody's self-esteem.
True that.
Yeah, hun, you look fab. But when I see it, I'm just like, you horrible bastard. She looks terrible, or he, whatever. She, the, we, they, ze, whatever. Pick your adjective or pronoun. When I see it, and I'm just like, they look ridiculous, and you're all building them up, and they're probably going to go out looking ridiculous. I
don't think those posts are generally. I don't think those sort of posts are put up. I I think they're put up sort of designed to. They're fishing, aren't they?
Oh, usually.
You know,
Oh,
you're not supposed to agree when they're like posting that. Like, oh, I feel so ugly today. You know, they obviously posting it up, thinking like, I need a confidence boost, so I'll stick my picture out there. I'll say I'm looking ugly. Everyone will tell you, like, oh no, babe, you look great. Oh, here's Sam commented. Yep, cleanse with fire.
It's usually that meme of a guy with a flamethrower, but I tend to save that for spiders. I had to deal with that earlier. Daisy came running out of her room screaming because man, I live in the countryside. There's spiders fucking everywhere. She came out screaming because there's a spider. I was like, what are you screaming for? It's only a spider. I went there. It was a pretty ugly looking spider, but I was just like, I'll just get rid of it. And then I got it in a piece of paper. I took it right up to her. I was like, look, it's just a spider. I was like, what should I do? Should I kill it or do you want it put outside? And she's like, proper thinking about it. You could see the look in her eyes of like, go on, kill it. But she's like, put it outside. It's a bit mean to kill it. And I was like, that's a good choice. And I flicked it off into the ether. Sorry, a little side tangent there.
My little rage then.
Yeah,
like, one of my pet hates. I know I've said it before. When I notify people that I'm afraid of spiders.
Oh, they throw them at you.
If there's a spider and they're like, "Oh, I'll get that," just keep it away from me because I'm afraid of spiders. And they come up to you like, "Oh." First thing they do is like, do it. I will knock you the fuck out if you come near me with that spider. I don't care. Like it's all fun and games until Andy punches someone.
It's just
happen. You come at me with something I'm afraid of. I'm hitting you. I don't care.
I just don't understand the fear in this country. They're not going to hurt you. I mean, they're horrible. They're ugly. They've got too many legs and way too many bulgy eyes. Two eyes, I suppose.
I just think they take the piss.
They take the piss. They don't pay rent and they live in my house.
Well, they just fucking come and go as they please. They turn up. They're just like, they're in your room, just staring at you while you're asleep or something like that. You know, sometimes they touch you. Like the little ones just crawl on you, just like, oh, don't mind me. They just fucking walk right over me. Nah, bollocks.
Just give you a little poke.
Yeah, no, they're piss takers, a lot of them. They don't really do anything. They've got 8 legs. What do they do with them? Fuck all. They just hang around in webs.
They kill flies. They're excellent.
Work. They've got 8 legs. They could work. Think of how good they'd be in a tiny little blacksmith.
On 2, hammering with 6 legs.
Yeah. We've missed out. There's fucking hundreds of them as well. We're missing out on an entire workforce here.
Well, good luck training them, Mushu. That's all I have to say.
I fucking hate them. I think they're piss takers.
Yeah, burn them down. Just get a fucking flamethrower out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what is that your least favourite animal? Or is that wasps?
No, I don't mind wasps.
They just don't like you.
They just don't like me. I'm not particularly keen on them. You know, I won't go out looking for them. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it'd probably be spiders. Yeah.
Oh, mine's snakes. I don't trust those no-legged wankers.
Actually, earwigs. Is it earwigs? Are they called
earwigs?
Earwigs.
Earwigs.
No, I don't like them. They're pricks. They're like.
That sounds like a little rock troll name. Earwig, come here.
I don't know what they're called. I found one in a bag of pasta once, and ever since then, I've been really sort of afraid of them.
They look like they're way more vicious than they are because they've got that pincer tail, and it's like I've never been pincered by one. I've never seen one pincer anything. I will be looking it up now. But yeah,
I hate them. I mean, I've always been too afraid to ask. But do they crawl inside your ears? Do they live inside your ears?
No, nothing really crawls inside your ears.
Why are they called the only time?
Because they wear wigs. Are they? They look like ears. I don't know, Mushu. I'm not a botanist.
Because they crawl inside your ears.
Oh, could be. The only time I used to see them all the time when I'd go camping. It was like,
sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I was just saying it. So when I would go camping, I'd see them all the fucking time, and I don't think I've seen an earwig in 20 years.
You don't seem to see them that often, do you? It's like those little red bugs that were always over bricks when you were younger. You know, the tiny little red ones. We always
like red ants.
No, we always just call them bloodsuckers. They were the tiny little bright red bugs, and they used to crawl all over brickwork and stuff like that. I never see them anymore.
I don't actually know what you're talking about, Mushu. Probably because I don't see red.
Yeah, maybe that's a psychological thing. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it happened at one point.
Red ants, though, I used to see those as a kid. I haven't seen them in forever. I also haven't sat on an ant's nest in forever. Do you know, I think it's mainly because we're all inside all the time. As a kid, I'd be playing outside.
One of the last times I went out with the boys into the forest, I sat on an ant's nest. And I have to say, it is the shittest experience, because the first you know about it is when they're all up in your grill. You know, you're just like, oh, why am I so tickly? And then an ant comes out, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. And you just know they're everywhere.
Every crease they're making home.
So I just had to walk away and just let them get bored of me.
Yeah, I remember getting bitten by red ants a lot as a kid. But again, I was playing outside. I saw a breakdown, like a timeline, and we're only like 5 years apart, aren't we? 5 years, 37. What are you, 41?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. We're like the last generation to have a childhood where internet wasn't a thing. Oh, like we had email as our household, we had it, but it was dreadful. But yeah, I saw the breakdown of it. So obviously I spent all my childhood outside playing.
That's mental, isn't it? Like the last people in our situation would have been like the last generation before post was invented, or something like that.
Yeah, it's just alien. But I think that's probably why why I haven't seen any in years, is because as a kid I was always playing. We used to call it the creek, but that's because we spent a year out in America. But everyone else called it the brook.
Fair enough.
The creek sounded better.
It does sound a lot better. Creek.
Yeah.
But you see,
the brook.
That's really exciting if you think about it, because you think about how far the technological jumps we've made in the past, God knows how long. And now you've got an entire generation that are being raised with information at their fingertips. And you think the sort of genius minds that come out now with all the information they've got available to them, that what we've got in store for us as a race in the future. I mean, we're heading some crazy territory as it is, you know, with talks of like laboratories on Mars and stuff like that.
Yeah, did you see the rover that landed there again? I mean, they've done it before, so I don't understand why everyone was so excited, because it's more of the same. It's
pretty impressive, though. Anything like that,
I agree.
It blows my mind.
But yeah, I hope in our lifetimes that becomes a thing. Yeah, you know, people start living on Mars.
That'd be cool.
Or colonize it.
Yeah, I'd definitely put my name down for it. I mean, clearly they need someone with my talents.
What, butchering skills, policeman skills, podcasting skills.
We just generally need a bald guy. You'll do.
You've got the voice of an angel. Just wait. Once you sing your Greatest Showman tune, you'll be beating down your door. I mean, probably for other reasons, but still. Oh, dearie me. Right. Should we think about wrapping this up? I don't know what the time is.
Why not?
I don't know how long we'll be going, but it feels like quite a while.
It does. I think it has been. So we'll wrap it up here then. So thank you very much if you're still with us. Thank you. Do like and subscribe if you haven't already. You know, whether you tell anyone else to like and subscribe, that's up to you. I'm not gonna push it.
Come on, Mushu.
Go on then.
Just tell one of your friends, force one of your friends to just to literally get their phone and like our YouTube page, and Mushu will sing you a beautiful lullaby.
Yeah, it will literally just destroy me as a human. It will destroy the last bit of dignity that I've got left. So if you want to see that, then like and subscribe by all means.
I mean, their songs are not short either, mate.
No, I know. It's a lot of bleeding dignity.
Are you gonna dress up? You're gonna put a sexy dress on? This is me. Whoa! Why
are you so determined to get me to do all the female roles?
Because they're the better songs. Oh, you're not going to do the drink champagne with kings and queens and politicians praise money. That one.
Maybe.
It's so quiet. I can't even hear that one in the car. The first minute of him is talking really quietly, isn't
it? Ish. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think that my iPod has stopped. And then I'm like, oh, it's that song.
I'm only going to do the first minute of it anyway. I'll just do the quiet bit.
No, you got to do the whole song.
And that was it. What did you think? Yeah, so anyway, that's happening or it's not happening. It's up to you guys, really.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
don't want to force the issue.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Yeah. Cheerio.